Hey friends, Zen Cooney here, Indian Club time. We're going to make this the third video in a series of videos for beginners with their Indian club. So if you're a beginner, this is the place for you. All right, so let's start off with a warm-up. With the clubs out to the side, bend them down and all the way back. I'm just going to take you right through a basic warm-up with two clubs. Bring them into the front, do the same. And upright. Then the next one we're going to do is a windshield wiper movement. So we're just coming to parallel with the ground. Then we're going to do the helicopter. So the helicopter goes forward, out, and in, or you can reverse it in and out. Let's look at it from the side. From the front. And then we'll reverse direction. All right, then we're going to do alternating inside full circles with arms straight. So that means we're going to cross our midline first. Then we're going to go in the opposite direction, so we're going to move away from the midline first. Then we're going to come back out to the sides, but with our clubs held in the reverse 2 position. Do you remember that? Reverse 2 position. So then we're going to bring them up in the back, up in the front. And bring them down. Then we're going to, with a step out to the side, we're going to bring our clubs overhead and step back in. All right, next up, we're back to our 1 position. Remember 1, 1, 2, 3 position. So we're in 1. And we're going to start going forward with a single club and go all the way around in the side circle. And then we're going to reverse it. Then we're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to go back first. Other side, same thing. All right, next up. Take your feet, open them up wider. We're going to start with our hands down to the side. We're going to turn and lift the clubs overhead and back down. Then with our feet still wide apart, we're going to come out into a one position and rotate as far as we go in one direction and as far as we go in the other direction. And back to center, lower the clubs down. Then, that's enough warm up. Let's go ahead and do about twice as wide as your hip stance, feet facing forward, spine erect, looking straight forward. And we'll begin with a single cross on one side and a single cross on the other side. Then we're going to put that together. It's a little different when you're doing two clubs and moving them at the same time. So in a slower motion, so you see that I'm in a one position to a two position, elbows bend, hands come around in front, show it to you from the side. So this is a double cross, obviously, because we're using both at the same time. And from the back. So there's a double cross. Now, still using two clubs, but using them in an alternating fashion, it's going to look like this, doing the same move. So here's the basic, single cross, double cross, then we're going to go to alternating cross. So with one up, the other one starts. Alternating cross. So there you have three variations: the single cross, the double cross, and the alternating cross. And you saw how you go from one to the other. So you're doing progressions. The one other thing I'm going to show today is that one other move is what we call salute. So using one club first, it would be across the midline. So we come from a one position to a two, from a two to a one. Two position, one position, two position, one position. Same thing as if we did the other side. So if we then wanted to go from doing singles to doubles, let's take a look at what that would be. Bring the clubs out a little bit. 2 position, 1 position. You can alternate if you like which hand goes in front. I'm going to show this to you from the side. So I want to address a difference of opinion that I have with many people that do this move. When I was first starting off, what I saw on the one VHS video that I had that showed some club slinging, this is how they did it. And then all the way back, really pulling the arms back, bringing the arms and clubs into what would be the back circle, and then going up. But actually, biomechanically, it's better for your shoulders if you stay in the front circle. So here's the front circle, right? So if we start off, we're in front circle. Now the clubs are going to momentarily move through back circle, but you'll notice that my arms actually stay in the front circle instead of way back, I keep in the front circle. Why do I do it that way? Because if I want to do back circle moves, I'm going to be focused on doing back circle. With a single club, of course, I can do a back hand shift as well. And there it makes sense to have my arms in the back circle. But for doing this basic salute, no need. So that's with 2 clubs. Now we're going to do alternating salute. I'll do it in slow motion first. So we get 1. So here I'm in the position where the second club is ready to move. So what I want you to watch is, I'll go in as slow motion as I can. We go from 2 to 1, 2 to 1. And then at regular speed, it looks something like this. Final note, if you are inside in an 8-foot ceiling, you're probably going to hit the ceiling if you do it the way I've been doing it. But you can do the same moves if you just come out to what we call a medium position. So doing the double cross, or doing the alternating cross, where you're just keeping the clubs lower. Same thing if you were doing alternating salute, you just do it in this middle position. And if you were doing the double salute, and so you won't be damaging your ceiling if you stay in this middle position, so it's good to train with both. So that gives you a good follow along with instruction with lightweight Indian clubs. These are about 2.5 pounds each, and which is a good way to start, but don't feel ashamed if you start with 16 ounce, in other words, 1 pound clubs, or even less than that. It doesn't matter where you start, except insofar as it should fit you. In other words, wherever you're starting, from how your shoulders are, how your digital dexterity is, how your overall conditioning is, what your background is, what your life skills are up to date, choose a club that's the right weight for you to practice these moves. And of course, always make it fun.